showcase my top 5 AR loadouts in Warzone 2 Season 3, and basically just go through and tell you guys exactly what you should be running in the current meta. But of course, before I hop into anything, I want to give a huge shout out to Eagle, Travis, and Deadpool for having my post notifications on. Also, if you guys do want a chance getting in my next video, make sure you guys go down below and hit that big red subscribe button, as well as leaving a like and a comment saying noties. Watch the full video through. But like I said, I have my top 5 assault rifle loadouts that you should be running in the current meta. Without further ado, let's hop directly into loading number 1. Gun number 1 and loading number 1 on the list is of course still the ISO Hemlock assault rifle, which if you guys haven't been in my streams or watching my videos recently, you guys have no clue how good this thing still is. Even after the nerf it caught with the Season 3 update, it is by far the best weapon in Warzone 2. So of course, let me get you guys the build real quick. Attachment number 1 is the Harbinger D20 suppressor, giving you absolutely everything you need for the build with the sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. For the tuning on the suppressor, on the left side, I tuned it slightly for recoil smoothness, and for the bottom, I tuned it for bullet velocity. Mixing in absolutely perfect with the suppressor is the Fielder T50 barrel, giving you even more with the damage range, bullet velocity, hipfire accuracy, and recoil control. Another massive reason why the Hemlock feels so great on the map, overall making you hit harder, getting you closer to hit scan, and making you an absolute beam. Of course, for the tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range. And then speaking of being a beam, I have the F-Tac Ripper 56 for our underbarrel, giving you that aiming auto stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. Like I said, making it to where the ISO Hemlock does not bounce at all. For the tuning on the underbarrel, I did recoil stabilization and aiming auto stability. And then just like I always tell you guys, the optics are 100% personal preference. You can run whatever you feel the most comfortable with, but for me, I think the MW2 is the best option and by far the cleanest option. For the tuning on the optic, I did ADS speed and far. And of course, for the last and final attachment, we have the 45 round mag, which is actually the biggest mag option with the ISO Hemlock. Increase that mag capacity, making it to where you can beam an entire 4 stack if you need to. But overall, this is my full build for the ISO Hemlock assault rifle in Warzone 2 Season 3. Like I said, easily one of the best guns in the entire game, if not the best. So if you guys haven't already, go through, give the full build, try some of the highest kill game you guys get with it. But like I said, that is loading number 1 on the list. So without further ado, let's hop directly into number 2. Loading number 2 and gun number 2, right behind the ISO Hemlock, is the TAC 56, which if you guys haven't seen my videos on this recently, it is an absolute laser beam. Of course, it does lack the damage compared to the Hemlock, but it is absolutely disgusting. So of course, let me get you guys the attachments for this one. Attachment number 1, just like the ISO Hemlock, is the Harbinger D20 suppressor, giving you the exact same pros and cons. For the tuning on this one, on the left side, I left it at 0-0, and for the bottom, I tuned it for bullet velocity. Of course, with the TAC 56, I tossed in the 17.5 inch Tundra Pro barrel, giving you that damage range, hipfire accuracy, and bullet velocity, making it where you are hitting harder, you're more accurate from the hip, and you're getting closer to hit scan. For the tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range. Then of course, like I was saying, the TAC 56 really has 0 recoil whatsoever, and a large part to do with that is the F-Tac Ripper 56 underbarrel, giving you that aiming auto stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. For the tuning on the underbarrel, I did recoil stabilization and aiming auto stability. And then something a little bit different from the ISO Hemlock, for the TAC 56, I actually changed up my scope a little bit. Instead of the MW2, I went with the SZ Recharge DX. For the tuning on the optic, which is still the same, we have ADS speed and far. And for the last and final attachment for the build is the 60 round mag. Of course, if you guys do want a slight bit more mobility, you can swap the 60 for the 40 just to speed you up a tiny bit. But for me, the 60 round mag feels absolutely perfect. But overall, that's my full build for the TAC 56 assault rifle in Warzone 2 Season 3. Like I said, a very close second to the ISO Hemlock and another fantastic option. So same thing here. If you guys haven't already, go through, give the full build, try some of the highest kill game you guys get with it. But like I said, that is loading number 2. Let's hop directly into loading number 3. Loading number 3 and gun number 3 is the M4 assault rifle right behind the TAC 56, which if you guys didn't see my last video on the M4, it is absolutely incredible. A lot like the TAC 56, it really has no recoil, and of course, a lot like the ISO Hemlock, it does some pretty good damage. So of course, for this build, I got the Harbinger D20 on, just like the Hemlock and the TAC 56, giving you that sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. For the tuning on the suppressor, I tuned it slightly for recoil smoothness, and I tuned it for bullet velocity. And for my M4 build, I tossed in the high tower 20 inch barrel, giving you that bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, and hipfire accuracy, mixing in absolutely perfect with the Harbinger D20, giving you everything you need for the M4. For the tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range. Then just like my TAC 56, instead of the MW2, I tossed in the SC Recharge DX, which is just super clean and has a really big picture. For the tuning on the optic, I did ADS speed and far. Then of course, for the third build in a row for my underbarrel, I tossed in the F-Tac Ripper 56, giving you that aiming auto stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. A really big reason why this M4 is slightly controllable at all. For the tuning on the underbarrel, I did recoil stabilization and aiming auto stability. And of course, for the last and final attachment, I have the 60 round mag, increasing that mag capacity, making it where you don't have to reload after every single kill. But overall, that's my full build for the M4 assault rifle in Warzone 2 season 3. Like I said, I've been absolutely loving this thing recently, and it's easily at the top of that meta conversation with the tac and the ISO Hemlock. So if you guys haven't already, go through, give the full build, try to tell me the highest kill game you guys get with this one. But like I said, that is our loading number 3 and AR number 3. Let's hop directly into loading number 4. Loading number 4 is actually a gun I haven't dropped a video on in a very long time. We have the Castoff 7.62, which is basically the AK-47 and another fantastic option for the AR spot. So of course, let me get you guys the build for this one. Something a little bit different since it is a different weapon class. We have the ZLR Talon 5 suppressor with the exact same pros and cons as the Harbinger D20. For the tuning on the suppressor, on the left side, I tuned it slightly for recoil smoothness, and for the bottom, I tuned it for bow velocity. Then of course, I tossed in the Cas 10 584 barrel, giving you damage range, bow velocity, hip fire accuracy, and recoil control, making it to where the Castoff 7.62 feels 10 times more useful. For the tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range. Then for the Castoff 7.62, we're going back to the MW2, which in my opinion is one of the cleanest scopes in the entire game. Of course, for the tuning on this one, I did ADS speed and far. And then for the underbarrel, I did something a little bit different for this build. I tossed in the demo clean shot 40, which this is all personal preference. You can run the clean shot 40, the F-Tac Ripper, or even the demo firm grip. But for me, on the Castoff 7.62, clean shot 40 just feels the best. For the tuning on the underbarrel, I did recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. And for the last attachment, we have the 40 round mag, which is actually the biggest mag size you can get on the Castoff 7.62. So of course, I tossed it on, increased that mag capacity, making it to where you can beam an entire team if you need to. But overall, that's my full build for the Castoff 7.62 assault rifle in Warzone 2 season 3. Like I said, that is my loading number 4 in the list and another fantastic option in the current meta. So if you guys haven't already, go through, give this whole build a try. But like I said, that is loading number 4. So let's hop directly into loading number 5. Loading number 5 on the list is actually a gun that just caught a buff with the season 3 update, and another gun that I've been getting so many comments about. It's the STB556, which is pretty much good for anything it needs to be on the map. So of course, let me get you guys this build. The first attachment is the Harbinger D20 suppressor, again giving you that sound suppression, bow velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness, helping out the STB in every possible way. For the tuning on the suppressor, I tuned it slightly for recoil smoothness, and I tuned it for bow velocity. Then mixing it perfect with the suppressor is the 24.4 inch barrel, giving you that damage range, bow velocity, hip fire accuracy, and recoil control. Of course, for the tuning on the barrel, I did recoil steadiness and damage range. Then for the STB, I tossed in the MW2 optic, which I always tell you guys, the optics are 100% personal preference. You can run whatever you feel the most comfortable with, but for me, on my STB build, I love using the MW2. For the tuning on the optic, I did ADS speed and far. For the underbarrel, I tossed in the demo firm grip, give you that aiming idle stability, hip fire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. For the tuning on the underbarrel, I did recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. And for the last attachment for the STB556 is the 42 round mag, which is the biggest mag you can get for the build. Increase that mag capacity, making it to where you aren't reloading after every single kill. But overall, that's my full build for the buffed STB556 in Warzone 2 season 3. Like I was saying, this is probably my most highly requested weapon after the update. So if you guys haven't already, go through, give this whole build a try. But like I said, that is my loading number 5 and the last loading on the list. But I actually do have an honorable mention. For the honorable mention, we have the Cronin Squall battle rifle, which would be higher on the list if it was an assault rifle, but I decided to put it as the honorable mention because it's not technically an AR. So for this build, I run the Sack and Tread 40 compensator, HR 6.8 barrel, AMOD-V4 optic, F-Tac Ripper 56 underbarrel, and the 50 round drum mag, which I just dropped a video on this literally like a day or two ago. So if you guys haven't already, go watch that. But of course, let me get you guys the tuning real quick. For the muzzle, I tuned it for recoil stabilization and gun kick control. For the barrel, I tuned it for recoil steadiness and damage range. For the optic, I tuned it for ADS speed and far. And for the underbarrel, I tuned it for recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability. But overall, those are all 5 of my top 5 AR loadouts in Warzone 2 season 3, including an honorable mention as well. So if you guys haven't already, go through, give every single loadout a try, and then go down to the comments below and let me know if it helps you guys out at all. And if it does, hit that big red subscribe button. But that's it for the video.